That's pretty cool. Hey guys, Brian with Be Little Fishing here. Welcome back to another edition of Tackle Tuesday. We're going to take a look at what we've been catching them on the past week and some new tackle purchases. Let's jump right into it. So over the past week, the weather's been really cold, a lot of rain, and because of that, the bass are super lethargic and really needing to get something in front of their face to get a bite. Spent time wrapping up the 7 new ponds in 7 days pond hopping tour, which was an absolute blast. Got to take Wiley and John Austin out with me for day number 7, which was awesome. Unfortunately, we didn't catch anything, but had a great time just hanging out together and fishing a new body of water. Over the past week, I've had the most luck fishing a spinnerbait. And since I'm fishing ponds and colder weather, I'm taking the presentation size down just a little bit to really try to get a bait right in front of the fish's face. So I'm using the Booyabaits Pond Magic. This is a 3/8 ounce spinnerbait. This is the Firebug color. This is the exact bait you'll see a lot of fish catches on here in just a minute. This thing's getting pretty beat up. It's some chipping on the blade there as it's been rotating around, hitting sticks and rocks and all sorts of junk. But this thing's proven to be a winner over the past week. Let's take a look at those fish catches right now.
Look at that. As soon as they hit the water. Twin brother, because he is the same size. That was so cool. He just nailed it sideways.
I've thrown a handful of other baits throughout the week. I've thrown a micro chatterbait, regular size chatterbait, mondo worms, craws, thrown a jig with, a craw or bug trailer on it. Trying to think. That about covers it. I've thrown some full-size spinner baits as well. And I tell you what, I've been striking out on all of those. Where I've been getting the bites are those little mini spinner baits. Other than that, we're at a new pond yesterday. John Austin and Wiley were out there with me, and I had the little Pond Magic on. John Austin had a buzzbait on, and Wiley went back to his favorite type of fishing, which is bobber fishing. That's Wiley's happy place when we're fishing. So he got the bobber out, pulled out his power bait, crappie nibbles in glow pink. So he pulled these bad boys out, and I thought, well, he's probably just gonna, goof around there for a while. And I'll be darned, he was the only person that caught fish yesterday. So he caught a little dinky bass and a little sunfish just within about 10 minutes of each other, which is pretty awesome. And then today we went out, did the same thing. Started raining. It was raining out. We were packing everything up, ready to go. Wiley said, "Dad, I want to catch a fish for the video." And I'll be darned, he caught another bluegill right as we were about to leave on the crappie nibbles. So I'm going to show you those 3 fish.
I just caught this tiny little itty bitty bass, and I caught sunfish this time.
Just about to head out because, as you can see, it is raining. And Wiley, last minute, saved the video with a nice little sunfish catch.
Had an absolute blast with him catching those fish. He's so excited whenever he's seen that bobber go into the water, and he's just, ripping on them. So it was a great time. I made a few purchases this week, some new tackle, just different things I want to try out. I haven't thrown a Ned rig around a lot, but I have some Ned rig heads, and I have some Googan Baits rattling Ned bodies, the baits, and I've used those a couple times, but hadn't had any luck. And I happened to be walking through Dick's Sporting Goods, and I saw these Sakoshi bugs from 10,000 Fish. So this is something I've seen on YouTube before, seen some advertisements for it, and the really cool action where they fall and they just stand straight up. Your Ned rig head comes through right here, stands right there. then you have your hook pointed down, so when the fish go to grab it, it naturally, they get a bite of it. So pretty cool action on these guys. I was throwing it today. Unfortunately, all I was catching was a bunch of grass off the bottom of the pond. Since we do catch and release, all the grass was safely returned. One thing I like about these is they are highly elastic, so you don't have to worry about the bait coming apart every time you're catching a fish. Check this out. I mean, gosh, that is easily 3 times the length of the bait right there, and it just goes right back, no problem. So these ought to be pretty deadly for a lot of fish catches. This is the blue craw color, pretty slick, laminated color bait. Really like that. Also picked up a new frog. I haven't been frogging recently. I'm not a huge frog fisherman, but I saw this and you know how it goes. You just see some things, you're like, ooh, I want to put that in my tackle box. I might fish that someday. So I have a bunch of frogs, but I don't have any popping frogs. So saw this lunker hunt. I think this is a 1/2 ounce. Yeah, 1/2 ounce popping frog. Really, really nice colors in this guy here. Trim those skirts up a little bit. Some nice hooks there. Gosh, these things are razor sharp. So I imagine when spring comes back around, I'll be busting this guy out and doing some popping. I really like using the topwater poppers as I got used to them this fall, just like on the walking baits. And so I thought, you know, I'm going to try a popping frog. And so I saw this guy. Maybe it was on sale. I don't remember, but I bought it. And we'll throw that in the tackle box, pull them out next spring, and hook up on some largies. Another thing I picked up was a new umbrella rig from Yum Baits. It's the Yumbrella. This is the Yumbrella Flash Mob Junior. So one thing I noticed is of all the videos that I've posted, I have one video that I posted where I was fishing the Live Target bait ball. It's like a little miniature Alabama rig where you've got one bait that actually has a hook on it, and then you've got 3 false baits above it. You've got 1 willow blade in the center. Had a blast fishing with that. Had 1 bite on it. Didn't catch anything, but a lot of people were interested in watching, you know, fishing with Alabama rigs. I noticed there's not a lot of information as much as you'd find on other baits out there on YouTube, and so I thought, you know, I'm going to explore that a little more and see if I can't fish the Alabama rig a little more. So this is, again, a really small setup, but I'm going to try that. Got some new swim bait hooks to pair up with it, VMC hooks. You know those things are going to catch some fish whenever they get on there. And then picked up some nice little swim baits. You know, because it's a Yum rig and the Yum Baits, you know, they're recommending this size for this umbrella rig. So these are the Phantom Pearl color. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to fast forward this part a little bit. I'm going to bust this bad boy open and show you what it looks like. Now, I don't know how you could possibly think that that is not the absolute sauce, but that is just awesome looking. Got 5 baits on there, so no matter where the fish hits, you're gonna catch them. You've got 4 willow leaf blades in there to add to the, you know, the look of the bait to really give it that schooling bait effect. Man, that is something else. I know typically there's some false baits that people would put on there. I just, for these purposes, I've got all the jig heads and the swim baits. So I'm going to try throwing it with the 5 different swim baits on there, just the way they are with the regular hooks, and see if I can't hook up on a few. I know been talking about, bringing the presentation size down for the fall bass, but another thing you also have to be aware of is that bass are looking for large meals. And if you want to catch a large bass in the fall, as it's going to winter time, they're going to look for a nice big meal. They see these guys flying out there in front of them, there's a good chance they're going to go out and try to grab a couple of those. And if you have a few fish together and you've got a bait, an umbrella rig, an Alabama rig like this, there's a good chance you could hook up on 2 of them as they're going after this little school of fish at the same time. So that's yet to be seen, but I'll be throwing this guy around, and I'll bring you along so you can see how that thing works. Definitely going to have to throw this on the Mach 2 combo. That's the rod for me that has the best backbone. Really, you probably want to throw it on a heavy rod, but I've got a medium heavy rod that's going to have to do for now. If I go out and buy a brand new rod just to throw this Mrs. B Little Fishing, we'll probably confiscate all my tackle and my poles. So don't want to do that. All right, so for baits, that's it. I did pick up a new piece of gear tackle that I've been looking at for a while, and just never could bring myself to get it. I've traditionally carried my plastics around in my backpack or in tubs in just a 1-gallon Ziploc bag. For the most part, it works okay. Sometimes I'm trying to put too much stuff in here, which is why these things get busted open like this. And I've been looking at these money bags for a while. This happens to be the Googan Squad one. Bass Mafia makes these. There is just a Bass Mafia branded one as well. You can get those at like Bass Pro Shops, at Dick's Sporting Goods, where I go to buy most of my tackle outside of, say, Walmart. They only carry this one, so that's why I got this one. But I'm going to show you the difference real quick between what your plastics look like in here versus in here. Get that loaded up real quick. All right, 14 bags of soft plastics. I'm going to make it 15. We're going to throw these the little swim baits in there that we put on the umbrella rig. So 15. See how this looks. Fits pretty nice. It's 15 packages of soft plastics. I can easily fit, and not all of them are full, but I can easily fit, 10 more in there and still be in good shape. And it's nice and clear. You can see what you have in there, and easy to kind of thumb through and pick stuff out. And this is a good size to just slide right inside of my backpack that I use for a tackle bag. So I think this is going to be a great piece of gear. Something that I just put off buying because I looked at it and I went, it's a giant Ziploc bag for $12.99. And I could never get myself to pull the trigger. So finally got tired of jacking around with the plastic bags in my tackle bag, and decided to go ahead and get one of those. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this edition of Tackle Tuesday. Hope you had a good time. Do me a favor, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're catching and what you're catching them on, and where you're catching them. Let me know if there's any new tackle purchases you made recently, anything you recommend, anything I didn't cover in this video that you think I should have. And if you want to have the fish that you're catching featured in this segment, go ahead, drop me a message down below. You can also email it to me at blittlefishing@gmail.com, and I'd love to show off what you guys are doing out there on the water. Don't forget, go out, do some fishing, have a great day.